Welcome to NavAids, the ultimate tool for flight simulator navigation and planning. NavAids is a toolkit developed to support you with navigation data and a lot of other information you'll need before and during your flights. Like many experienced X-plane users, we felt the need for permanent, visually available navigation data on a second screen to provide crucial information about airports, runways, beacons, waypoints, airways, ILS information, and most importantly, the actual real-time position of the aircraft. Now you don't have to interrupt your flight anymore to get access to data in the simulator package. With NavAids, this information is permanently available to you as you fly. NavAids shows you the actual position and flight movements of the aircraft on satellite images while at the airport and on a map during your flight. Furthermore, NavAids lets you plan your flight through beacons or waypoints and automatically generates and saves the right data file for you to load into your aircraft's flight management computer. NavAids notifies you when to descend and to reduce speed when you are approaching your destination and shows you a GPS data-controlled glide path, allowing for a safe landing, even when ILS is not available at your selected airport or runway. NavAids was developed to provide X-plane pilots better facilities to increase their flying performance and enhance the thrill of being in control, both before as well as during the flight. In this short film, we demonstrate how X-plane and NavAids work together to obtain an even better X-plane experience. Airports. First, let's have a look at the layout of the screen. To the left, we have a window with all available airports by name, or the same airports listed by their ICAO code. Underneath this, we have a window in which additional information of selected airports, beacons, and waypoints will be provided. To the right, we have a detailed world map, which can be scrolled using the right mouse button, depending where we want to go. Two indicators at the bottom of the screen display the latitude and longitude of your mouse position on the map. Furthermore, we have a taskbar here, displaying the instructions necessary in order to plan our flight. Suppose, for example, we are in Rotterdam and want to fly to Brussels. In the airport list, we will select Brussels Airport. Now, we see that the map has automatically jumped to this airport, with all runways clearly displayed. We also see that the information window here has now been filled with the relevant information of this airport. The name of the airport, the elevation of the airport, the name of the runway, the direction of the runway, the length of the runway, the name of the localizer, the frequency of the localizer, the range of the localizer, and, marked by an asterisk, the ILS maps available for this particular runway. Suppose we click runway 25 right. Then we will automatically see the available ILS map of that runway. Clicking the left mouse button will hide the ILS map. We can also see that after clicking the selected runway, the final approach sector of that particular runway now appears on our map. The length of that sector corresponds with these 18 miles. Suppose we made a mistake. We don't want to use this runway, but we would rather approach from a southern direction. Then we would need to use runway 02, this one. And again, the corresponding ILS map will automatically show, and on our map, the new approach sector appears. Beacons. If we look closer at our map, we can see a number of beacons, such as VOR beacons and NDB beacons, which we can use to plan our flight. Suppose we want to fly from Rotterdam Airport to Brussels Airport using beacons. We could, for instance, select this beacon, and we will see the selected beacon information appear in the information window here, stating its frequency, its range, and its name. The range is automatically graphically displayed on the map, which in this example is well within range of our departure airport. If we click through our map towards Brussels, we can also select this beacon, which overlaps our previous beacon amply, and continue our flight to here. And so we keep selecting beacons along our preferred flight path until we reach the approach to Brussels. Once we reach Brussels, we can see that we have still selected the southern approach on runway 02, which is not the right runway for our flight. We simply select the right runway again, and now see that our last selected beacon lines us up perfectly for our final approach on runway 25 right. This way, we can now clearly see in which order we have to project our beacons and program them in X-Plane. In case a wrong beacon was selected, for instance this last one, we simply click it again to deselect, and we can select a better beacon for our flight. But in this case, the beacon was correct, so we select it again. Flight planning. The flight planning function of NavAids allows you to visually program the flight plan, which can then be fed into the flight management computer of X-Plane. To start this function, click on the flight planner and follow the instructions on the taskbar. We start by selecting our departure airport, in this case, Rotterdam, and then select our destination airport, Brussels Airport. Then we select our landing runway. A blue guideline will automatically appear to identify the shortest possible route. This will help you identify the most appropriate beacons along the shortest flight path. However, on a short flight, such as from Rotterdam to Brussels, keeping in mind our takeoff and landing headings, this route may not always be relevant, and therefore, we will not use this guideline when selecting our waypoints for this particular flight. We continue to select our waypoints down the preferred route and towards the destination airport. If it now turns out that this waypoint is not suitable, we simply click it again to deselect and select a new waypoint. We can now complete this route by clicking on the taskbar, and the route will be saved under this name in the Flight Plans folder. On the left, we can see a listing of the selected waypoints, as well as the correct code as used in the FMC in X-Plane. This file can now be transferred to the computer running X-Plane and subsequently loaded in the FMC. FMC. By clicking on the FMC button, we can recall all previous flight plans that we have created. We select the flight plan we have just created, Rotterdam, Brussels, which will then be loaded in NavAids again. On the map, we can see the route and waypoints that we selected earlier. Taxiing. By clicking on the airport picture button in the bottom left, we can see a satellite image of our current airport. And by clicking on the Show Aircraft button, we can make our own aircraft visible on that image. And now we can see our aircraft parked here, in front of the terminal. As we now start taxiing to the runway in X-Plane, you'll see the movement of the aircraft on our map and satellite image in NavAids. We'll speed up the image a little. Take off and climb out. As we commence our flight, we'll speed up the film a little, since we don't need to fly real time to show you the progress. Ready for takeoff? As we are taking off and climbing out, NavAids will show you your exact position and route as you are flying it, making it very easy to provide you with situational awareness. Especially if you have not planned a flight and simply choose to fly as and where you please. This function will be a great help to you in navigating where you want to go. Descent. When flying a predefined flight plan, NavAids will assist you in identifying the right time to begin your descent. NavAids will sound an alert, and the taskbar below will provide you with the right instructions for the initial phase of the descent. Final approach. As you enter the approach sector in your final descent, you will see a number of colored bars appear to the right and bottom of the screen. The vertical blue bar on the right side of the map shows you your actual altitude. The green bar next to this shows you the recommended altitude. The horizontal blue bar at the bottom of the screen shows you the distance to the runway threshold. This feature provides excellent approach information, especially for airports or runways that are not equipped with ILS by essentially providing simulated glide slope and marker information. Upon approaching the airport within 0.5 nautical miles, a satellite image of the airport will automatically appear in our screen. And there we are. Welcome to Brussels. Please keep your seatbelts fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop. Conclusion. We hope that you enjoyed this demonstration and hope you find NavAids a welcome and useful program to enhance your flying experience with X-Plane. The software comes with a comprehensive help section to explain further how all functions work and how to use the software. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing your feedback.